What's good, folks? Today we're gonna be ranking every death in The Walking Dead, but we're gonna be ranking it from saddest to Rip Bozo. Listen, Rip Bozo, you already know we talking about Carver, all the folks who, yeah, they deserve to get packed up. But now we about to get into it. Now let's talk about Abel. Now Abel, when it first started, I ain't gonna lie, I was wanting him to get up out of there. I wanted that man to get packed up, cause bro, he was kind of weird. After Clementine and AJ capture him, that man he just looked like a broken down man, and like AJ said, ain't even no fun no more. Like you kind of feel sad for the guy. So with Abel, I'm gonna put him in slightly sad. I ain't gonna shed a tear of this guy, cause this man did boot kick AJ in the chest, but it does feel slightly sad seeing this man all broken down on his deathbed. Now, let's talk about Carlos. Now with Carlos, it happened so abrupt. Like, it happened quick. So, but with me, I don't really care about Carlos that much. So, I don't want to do Carlos like that, but hey. Slightly satisfying. I gotta be honest, man. I gotta be honest. Carlos, he wasn't my favorite type of person, and he deserved to be here. Slightly satisfying. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, but this is the girl from season 1 who was locked in the motel. She locked herself in there because she was bitten, and Glenn, hey, for my season 1 folks, if y'all remember Glenn, that man Glenn. He tried to help her, but ultimately he couldn't do anything. And it kind of made me feel kind of sad for her. Even though we ain't got no type of character development with this girl, it was sad all around. I was still like, oh, that's tough. So, slightly sad. Not sadder than Abel, but sad. Now, we talking about Carver. You already know. This one, I will say, I think it went a little too far. But hey, I stayed and watched because I wanted to see my get back. And Carver, yeah, Rip Bozo. That's where he belongs. Exactly where he belongs. This brother right here. Oh nah, you can't nah. Hey, all the little trauma he caused Clem, yeah, he got to be in Rip Bozo. Listen, we all know this guy, man. Season 1, the very first start when you first playing him. I'm not gonna lie. I remember him, so I can't put him in Who You Are again. It was kind of meh. I think bro was actually a cool character, to be honest, though. He kind of sided with Lee when he was up in the car, and he got packed. He was the first one to get packed up. Mead. Now, this kind of, I don't know if anybody else felt this way, but for me, I liked Mead, but his death scene, I felt like it was so goofy that it made me laugh. Because instead of this man rushing the girl to go grab the gun, this man looked back at the door to watch that thing close. It was kind of goofy to me, and the way he felt real slow, it was kind of funny. But at the same time, me, that is my guy. I gotta say, top of slightly sad. If the death scene went kind of funny, it would definitely be up higher. Now, we talking about Sam. Sam the dog. The one that betrayed Clem, bit her up for a pack of beans. And I'm not gonna lie, this one, it did make me sad, man. Seeing that dog on that thing like that. So, I gotta go. So, with Sam, hey, you might have to be shed a tear, cause that was sad, bro. That was sad. And I'm not saying I like Sam more than Omi, but I feel like the death scene. Hey, bro, you already know. You probably shed one tear when Sam got packed up like that. He ain't had to go like that. Now, let's talk about Troy. Now, Troy, if you remember his death scene, Jane kind of seduces him and then shoot him in the necks. So, yeah, I was just like, it was not satisfying at all. It was just kind of messed up. And he did cause some stuff. Since he got shot in the necks, I don't think it's Rip Bozo or slightly satisfying. We need to make a whole new tier. We need, instead of Who Are You, that's messed up. There we go. Now we getting right. Yeah, this is where Troy belongs, right here. It's kind of messed up. Like, I ain't said no tier or nothing. I wasn't sad, but it was messed up that thing happened to this man. Jane. As we know, Jane could die like 2 ways. Either Kenny kills her in that fight, or she seducles herself. And yeah, that was kind of messed up. I'm not gonna lie though. I'd be lying if I said a tear over Jane. I'm gonna say that's messed up. Hey, think about it. Even if you pay Jane, she decides to leave the Earth because she don't want to have Luke's baby, and hey, that's just messed up. Like I'm not. Now let's talk about Kenny. Now at Kenny, here's the thing that I'm thinking though, because Kenny, his death scene, it really depends on the player for real. Cause me, hey, my playthrough Kenny alive. We gonna get off topic, but I need to talk about this. Listen, if you chose to stick with Kenny after he got you to Wellington, I'm like, come on. Hey, learn to say goodbye sometimes. You overstayed your welcome. That man, Kenny, he could have been. Hey, we see what happens when Clementine's sticking this man life. His group get destroyed and annihilated. So, eventually, he gets annihilated. And honestly, this is a very sad death scene. But I feel like what takes away from it is this a flashback. And we don't experience in person. I feel like that would have made this death top of the line. I'm glad I didn't get that on my playthrough, but once I seen it, it was like, yeah, that's tough. So yeah, it still hurts. I gotta say, this is one of the saddest moments. Now let's talk about girl right here. Now if you remember her, she tried to rob Clem and then shot Omid. So her death, it was really extremely fast and unnoticeable. So I gotta put her in. I wouldn't even say satisfying. You know, she killed Omid. She was still scared for her life, and you know she made a mistake, and she was young as well. I put her in meh. I wasn't sad for her at all. I'm not gonna lie. At the same time, she did kind of deserve it. Now, if you remember her, what's her name? Mia, not Mama. I forgot her name, but Javier's grandma. Or no, Javier's mother. But Javier's mother, that was a tough intro, and it got me hyped for the game more than sad, if I'm being honest with myself. But at the same time, it's still sad. You know, she was just trying to check up on her loved one, and I gotta go with slightly sad. I say over Abel. We're gonna get it right eventually. There we go. It was slightly sad, but it did get you hyped up for the game. Now, let's talk about Sarita. Now, Sarita, W accent. Her death was kind of messed up because it did put Clem in a weird situation. But, I gotta say, I'll go with slightly sad. Hey, I don't feel like she was too prevalent of a character to really make me bawl out a tear or anything like that. I would say, yeah, right about here. Now, we talking about the Andy St. John brothers. So, with this brother right here, I gotta say, I didn't feel no type of sympathy for this man. So he gotta be Rip Bozo. Yeah, gotta be at the end of Rip Bozo. I was actually glad that man got packed up. And the difference between him and his brother is, his brother, you could see it in even though you don't like Andy St. John, you could see it in his face. This man all beat up. It's a little bit sad. Not sad enough to make you forgive him. So, I gotta say, slightly satisfying. It's slightly satisfying. It's now on the level of Rip Bozo because I did feel a little sad. But bro, he had to get the boot either way. Now, we talking about James. Now, if you don't remember, James, if you choose to not shoot Lily, this man, he gonna be like, hey, don't shoot her. And then she turned around and hacked that man up. So when it initially happened, it was a lot more of a shock factor for me. And I gotta say, I wasn't that sad. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't that sad. I might be the only one. But I was gonna say, that's messed up. Because, you know, he was trying to help Lily out, and she retaliated on him. And it's just like, dang, that's messed up. I'm not setting no tip for this dude, but he still seemed like a decent human being. Probably stink, but he's still a decent human being. Now, let's talk about her. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember her name. But she was in season 1. She was a guy with Vernon. Now, her, I gotta say, meh. She was the definition of meh. I wasn't sad. I didn't feel no type of way. She just got packed up and I was like, alright, let's keep it moving, keep it pushing. So, next up, we talking about Badger. Now, Badger, oh my gosh. Rip Bozo. Rip Bozo. Now, is it more satisfying than Carver's death? It's close. It's real close, but I think his death, Carver got him beat out just by a little. But Badger, yeah, I didn't like that man at all. And when Javier got to take that bat and start swinging, yeah, that made it a whole lot better. Now we getting real deep into deep territory. We talking about 10. Now with 10, hey, he could die at the very end. This is a sad scene. He trying to go to his sister, Minerva, and I feel kind of sad for him. You know, 10, he was just the innocent dude, and he kind of reminded me of Sarah, but a bit better because he knows the circumstances. And I gotta say, it's I shed it. Nah, it gotta go and still hurts, bruh. It gotta go. No, it don't. One tier. Top of one tier. Listen, Sam, he might be at the bottom of one tier, but 10, it's a sad death. I can't even lie. I probably shed a tear then. Now, Minerva, seeing her get eaten like that is kind of like, oh my gosh. It's not really satisfying because I don't feel like I ain't got beef with Minerva like that. So I gotta go with, that's messed up. And it's really messed up that she took her brother with her. Like, come on, no? Now, let's talk about Ben. Now with Ben, I know some of y'all want me to say put him in Rip Bozo. He deserved that. Hey, maybe he did, but he still tried to change. I felt like he was trying to change, so it wasn't that satisfying for me. His death, it was slightly sad. And you know what? I'm putting Ben right above Abel. You know, cause it was still sad. I didn't shed no tear. But yeah, we've been with this man for a minute. Even if you dislike him to a T, you kind of like, oh man, I don't want him to die for real. Hey, I know some of y'all probably pushed him off the little cliff. Y'all some dirty, but that's kind of going too far for me. So yeah, slightly sad. Now let's talk about Bill. Now, if you don't remember Bill, he saved Clem and Ben, and he had to go and fight out on his own, and eventually he found his body. Now, Bill gets packed up trying to protect Clem and Ben. And Bill, I gotta say, slightly sad. And I put him right there. Yeah, because I rolled with Bill with the short amount of time that we met him. He seemed like a good guy in the end of the day. Now, listen, this is the teacher that Ben had during the start of the apocalypse. And he was trapped in a bear trap. And either you cut off his leg or you leave him there to get bit on. And basically, you just gotta cut off this man's leg. And he ended up bleeding out because, you know, there ain't nothing you could do for him too much. And I gotta say, I didn't feel sad for him all. I'm sorry, I didn't feel sad for him because I ain't know him. It was like, hey, that's a tough predicament to be in. So, he going in the meh category. Next up, we got Brody. Now, Brody, she got one-shotted by Marlon, and it was kind of like, golly. I mean, I was starting to... Brody, she was cool. I'm not going to say she's my favorite character or nothing, but it was slightly sad, man. Maybe if we had more time with her, it would have hit better. It would have hit harder. But since we didn't, I gotta put her right there, above Sarita. Her death is a bit sadder than Sarita to me. Now we talking about Marlon. Now when Marlon, hey, he locked Clem up in the basement, and when that happened, I was kind of caught off guard. So hey, I'm not lying. It's slightly satisfying. Top of slightly satisfying. You know what? Nah, cause. Bottom of slightly satisfying. Listen, the lower it is, the more satisfying it is. And I had a blast with Marlon. Even though I don't think he deserved that, it was kind of cool that it happened. And since this, hey, best Rip Bozo is Carver, so yeah, I had to realign that. That's now we right. Hold up, get over here. There we go. Now we talking about Lee. We all know. If you ain't cried through this scene, I don't know what you holding back, but hey, go on release them tears, man. This made little me cry, pure pain. Even when I look back on it and I hear that no, I still get the little sad. So it gotta be pure pain. Next up, we got Trip. Now Trip, it's kind of a weird case. He's a cool guy. You know, he's decent. He want him some Eleanor, but the way he died for me, I chose to save Ava because I felt like Ava was a cooler person. But you know, it's still tough because he did go out trying to save you. So I gotta put his, and I'm not gonna lie, his death scene, it's a little underwhelming. So the amount of sadness I got, it's meh. It's meh. Top of meh. I wasn't crying or nothing, but I do like Trip more than these characters, so it is kind of messed up that I put him here. But it wasn't that sad to me. Now we talking about Gabe. Now in a certain playthrough, hey, in my playthrough, I packed Gabe up. I'm not gonna lie, I left him up there to die. Rip Bozo. I don't care, bro. You know what? I'm putting him right here. Hey, I kept the beef with this man. I made sure to get the get back. Gabe, rip Bozo. I'm sorry, but yeah, he had to go. Now, let's talk about David. Now, David, David. David, it was Javier's brother. Yes, Gabe was his son. I don't care. David, it wasn't satisfying. It wasn't even sad to me, for real. That just messed up. He the one who did it to himself. So I'm not even that sad, for real. But yeah, David, it was sad that he got packed up. It wasn't really satisfying. It just kind of messed up. Now, let's talk about the stranger. The stranger. Listen, his death in season 1. I will say that we've been searching for this man this whole time, but he honestly doesn't seem like that bad of a dude. So it's not really that satisfying. It's not as satisfying as these deaths. So I gotta say his death, I'm definitely not feeling sad for this guy though. And I don't think it's really messed up because he kind of deserved to get packed up. So I'm putting him in meh. No tears shed, no satisfaction. He kind of a meh. Good villain, but his death, I don't feel no type of way about it. Now let's talk about Lily. You already know where this is going. Yeah. Number one. Most satisfying death in history. It gotta be Lily, cause when AJ he let that whole clip go, oh my god. Hey, just remembering it, beautiful. WAJ. Lily, yeah, her getting packed up, best thing in the game. Rip Bozo. Now let's talk about Andy St. John's mom. Now, if you remember, she went up the stairs and she got bit by a dude she was eating on, so it was satisfying. Like, she eating on him, now he got to get back and start eating on her. So I'm putting on. It might be a little messed up, but I feel like her death was the most satisfying out of everybody on there. Ooh. Yeah, that's about right. Now we got Sarah. If you left her in the cabin to die, you was a messed up person, bro. What is you doing? Just slap her across the face and she gonna follow you. But for me, it was like, slightly sad. I ain't shed no tears. She was cool though. I gotta say, slightly sad. Right over there. Right underneath the mead. Now, we talking about this guy. Now, basically, he was in season 4 on the New Frontier. And this guy, he sold Clem some messed up bullets, and I'm not even, what? It wasn't satisfying. It was just it was just fear factor. And I gotta say, Boom. I gotta say, his death, it wasn't really that memorable for me. So yeah, he going at the bottom of here. And you know what, Stranger, it was more impactful, so I'm moving him over here. Now, we moving on to Alvin. Now Alvin, to see this man bruised and battered like that, hey, like him or don't like him, you had to shed a tear. You had to shed a tear. That man Alvin, he got done. That man Alvin, he got done in the worst way. I say one tear. Now, we talking about Reggie. Rip Bozo. Nah, Reggie, like, it's messed up that you threw him all. Like, I'm not really that sad for him. And you know, me and Reggie, we got our differences, but Reggie, at the end of the day, is meh. I wasn't sad for him, and I didn't really feel satisfied this man died. It was just kind of like, that's, you know what, that's messed up right over there. Now, we talking about this guy, Badger 2.0. I still can't remember this man's name to save my life. He can die. I gotta say, it's not as satisfying as Badgers at all, but since he is an enemy, it was slightly satisfying. I'd say more satisfying than Marlon. It does sound crazy to say a death was satisfying, but hey, if it made you feel a little bit happy that man packed up, it ain't that crazy. Now, we talking about her. Now, if you don't remember her, she was the lady that seemed crazy that she was fighting the Andy St. John brothers, but she wasn't really crazy at all. And honestly, it wasn't, meh. That's the easiest thing to say. Easiest pick of my life. I didn't really care for her because we only got to know her in a couple seconds. Now we talking about Carly. Oh, still hurts. My boy Lee, he was about to tear that. Anyway, Carly death, it was caused by Lily. And hey, that's probably one of the reasons Lily's at the top of the Bozo. But it was also just kind of out of the blue. You could see the tension building. It really sets the tone for the story. Now, let's talk about this druggie. Now with him, bro, it just seemed like he just wanted to zone out. So I went in sad for him. Hey, he went out on his own accord. So I'm going to put him in. Man, I don't feel happy that this man got packed up, but at the same time, I don't feel too sad because he went out the way he wanted to go. Now, Doug. Yeah, so what happened with Doug? Oh yeah, Doug, he got shot by Lily. Hey, like most people, I chose to save Carly. So, you know, I ain't shed no tear for Doug. I did go back and play it through. Doug, meh. Just meh. Hey, shout out Doug though. He's still a cool dude. He didn't get a chance to really do what he had to do, but yeah, he going on meh. I'm gonna be nice. Right underneath the Stranger. Now we talking about Doug. Now Doug, hey, bro, just a little kid. Same with 10. But I feel like the little butterfly effect that Duck had, it was actually a whole lot sadder. Because when Duck died, his mom went out with him, like in her own way. It was kind of sad. So yeah, over Carly right here. Hey, rip Duck, man, rip Duck. Now let's talk about this girl. Now, if you don't remember, this girl is the one that Kenny saw at the convenience store when they was trying to get some food for the crew, and you could sacrifice her to make her have more time. And honestly, it was sad. It was sad seeing that happen. So I'm going. Listen, I ain't shed no tear. We ain't that high on her. I'm going below Brody. Yeah, right there. Hey, even though we don't know nothing about her death, it was still sad. It was tough. Now, we getting into machoning, something. But if you played this game, this guy right here, Carver 2.0, I can't stand him. When he died, hey, rip Bozo, rip Bozo. He about on the level of Badger. Listen, I can't remember their name because I ain't played that game in a minute, but I do remember it. Now Norman, she's also on McConan. Her death scene is absolutely grueling. Like, her death scene made me sick. Ugh. I'm gonna go with that's messed up because I ain't even need to see her guts like that. Ugh. Okay, back to this dude. Now, bro got eaten. It was so tough. We ain't had no connection to him. We just know bro got cooked in a meal, and then Larry started feasting on that man. So I gotta say, that's messed up. Like, that's the perfect definition of that's messed up. You know what? Top of that's messed up. Ain't no way this man really getting eaten by people instead of zombies. Like, bro already had to watch out for the walkers. Now he getting munched on by some people. Now, this may come as a surprise to some folks, but Luke death, I wasn't like insanely shocked. It was sad. You know what? One tier. Above, right there. You know what? This is sadder than Alvin's though. You know, I rock with Luke. So yeah, 1 tier. Underneath 10, above Alvin. That's what, hey, bro did freeze to death. It was sad. And, you know, R.I.P. Luke, man. R.I.P. Luke. Now Nick death. Now with Nick, even though I don't like Nick like that, he did die trying to save Sarah. So it was kind of sad. Slightly sad. I'm going to say above Ben. Although he caused a lot of problems for the group, it was still a little bit sad for me to see him go, because he was trying to do the right thing in his last moments. So yeah, now her, we know that this the woman who been keeping AJ, and she had to retaliate on Clem for some reason. So you know, it was messed up. It was just messed up that had to happen in the first place. So yeah. Now, Katja. Oh man, messed up. Like, it just messed up. It's not satisfying at all. It's kind of, you know what? Slightly sad. I can't be too sad because she chose to do it on her own, but still, it was very sad that happened. And the reason, you know, 1 tier. It's that death scene. It was tough. It was tough to handle. And I gotta say, I'm gonna put her over the dog. Hey, Sam, we still love Sam, but hey, he calls it on himself. Now, let's talk about Mariana. Alright, my fault. But Mariana, she seemed like a cool character, and the way her death happened, it was just like, we having a fun little day, and then BAM! Like, it was insane. It was shocking. It wasn't satisfying at all. In fact, I might say, I shed a tear because they didn't have to do her that dirty. Listen, they could have just did her a little song. So yeah, 1 tier for Mariana. You know what? Over Luke. Even over Luke. I rock with Luke, but Mariana, they ain't had to do her like that. We talking about Pete. That man, Pete. Now with Pete, he kind of get done in off screen, but I rock with Pete. So, you know, I was slightly sad. I might even put him over Sarah, because he was a cool dude. He was a cool guy. And yeah, slightly sad, top of slightly sad. Yeah, that's a good spot for him. Now, let's talk about Mitch. Now with Mitch, he tried to protect his people. So, you know, I was sad because of that. Yeah, he had different points of views because of the Marlon thing. But I gotta say, him and Brody, they about the equal amount of sadness. You know, I ain't shed no tears for that man. I was just kind of shocked during his death as well. Now, Rebecca. Now, Rebecca is a character. I can't say she's my favorite. She's not really my cup of tea. They really try to switch her whole character up instantly. I gotta say though, her dying during the shootout and about to bite AJ. Ooh. I had to shed a tear. I'm not gonna lie, I had to shed a tear. But this one is a bit different. It's more because of the circumstances and that she never really got to raise AJ. Less of the actual character that, less of me actually liking the character. So, you know what? Still hurts. Now, let's talk about Larry. Larry, we all know Kenny bashed that man head in with a salt lick. It was I didn't feel any satisfaction because of that. I was like, I wasn't sad though, but let's put him in meh. Top of, you know what? We didn't want him. This is the thing with me personally. Yeah, I ain't like Larry, but when that happened, I was like, golly, and it was kind of sad. That's tough that happened, but we gotta keep moving at this point. Seeing that man head go splat like that while Lee and Lily trying to save him, it was like, yeah, that's kind of messed up. So you know what? That's messed up. That's extremely messed up. That's messed up. Cause I wouldn't shed no tear, but hey, that's probably the most messed up thing you could do. Let's do Louisa and Violent. Now, Louisa and Violent, you know, either one of them could die in the story at certain circumstances, and I'm not gonna lie, it gotta be high up there. Cause no matter which one you pick, you go through it with them. You know, you cool with them throughout the season, and then for that to happen to them, hey, that gotta hurt either way. I'm putting Louisa over Violent because hey, the betrayal. If you seen the video, you already know. But yeah, still both of them, it still hurts. Very sad that does happen. Now we talking about Ava. Ava, she kind of in the same boat as Trip, but I like her a little bit better. So, like, at the bottom of slightly sad. I wasn't crying or nothing, but, you know, I felt like, oh, that's tough. Let's talk about Conrad. His death, hey, he didn't even have a chance. So, meh. Bro didn't have a chance for the most part. And you can't really feel sad because you felt like you were doing the right thing by not pining off Clem. So, I can't put him up too high. Now, let's talk about this girl. Guard number 1. Rip Bozo. You know, slightly satisfying. Like, I wasn't insane. Like, I wasn't too invested in her. I don't think nobody was. And most people probably don't even remember her. So, yeah, slightly satisfying, though. Because, hey, she an enemy, and she had to get packed up. You know, I don't even think she died. No. Bro, now I can't remember. Did she die? Hey, she died on the boat if not. You know what? Not even satisfying. Meh. There you go. Now, we talking about... Oh, I'm trying to pull his name out the bag. I'm trying to put this man's name out the bag. I can't remember his name. But his death, it was kind of messed up because Duck did turn that thing on and start running over this man's leg. And, you know, that's messed up. That's where that belongs. It's messed up that he really just died because Duck wanted to turn on the tractor and run over this man's leg. But you know what? I did feel slightly sad when that happened. So yeah, bottom was slightly sad. Now, we talking about Conrad girlfriend. Meh. Now, what's his name again? Now him, it's kind of interesting because he did seem like a cool guy, but at the same time, I didn't have any connection with this guy. So slightly sad. No, not even slightly sad. We going with meh. Seemed like a decent person, but you know, I'm not crying over this guy. Same with his friend over here. Meh. Now Clem. Now, when I first realized this, I'm not gonna lie, I started tearing up. But because they were really doing a whole 180 to Lee, and I really thought she was gonna get packed up. So, top of the list. That was the saddest thing. Thinking Clem was gonna get packed up after all this time, it gotta be at the top of the list. And you know, I like to do like a top 3, so let's bring Kenny up here. Maybe Sam a little too high. And Omid, hey, we gotta fix some stuff here. Cause Omid, he's still my dog, and I probably shed one tear. And Sam, he was cool, but you know, he not all that. Cause he caused it on himself by trying to eat Clem. Now, as for the most satisfying deaths, Lily number 1, then Carver, then Badger, then dude from McConan, and then Gabe. Hey, this is my list right here. Is there anything you would change though? And if you got any other tier list ideas you want me to do, hey, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to do them. But with that being said, like, subscribe, hit the noise bell if you want to, and we out.